Welcome back to Good Morning Colorado. Hope your Tuesday is treating you well so far. It's 6:21 right now. Let's talk about what to expect throughout the rest of the day. Well, you've likely already heard by now that highs will be warm, 80s and 90s. But what about what's happening in the eastern plains? That's where we have that marginal severe weather risk for everyone highlighted in green, primarily focused in the northeastern plains. Some of the primary threats with this storm won't be as much in terms of rotating storms, but gusty winds and hail will be some factors. Elsewhere across the U.S. to the north of us, we are looking at that marginal to slight severe weather potential. So if you're traveling those areas, just use caution and make sure to be weather aware. Always like to say that. As for what we're tracking on your threat tracker today, flooding, wind and hail, those are at a moderate category today. Tornado threats won't be as much of a risk. And some of these ingredients will only really take place in the far eastern plains. Elsewhere, we're staying quite nice and quite dry. Those current temperatures in the 50s and 60s along the I-25 corridor. Take a look at the eastern plains, ranging in the mid to upper 50s. Right now, mid-40s for Alamosa and a bit chillier for Leadville and Gunnison. Grab the jacket in those locations. Taking you region to region now, northern El Paso County ranging in the 50s for Northgate and Briargate, with the upper 50s for Manitou Springs, mid-50s for I-25 and Garden of the Gods, mid-50s currently for Pueblo West. Colorado City, you're sitting at 58 degrees. Walsenburg and Trinidad ranging in the 60s, so it will be a warm one. Might want to bust out the sunscreen later on, especially for the kiddos if they're out and about. Live HD Doppler radar over the last hour is just showing dry conditions. Not a lot is going on. Highs today, 80s and the 90s, will range in the lower to mid 90s for the eastern plains. Alamosa, you're expected to reach 73 degrees with the 60s and 70s for Leadville and Gunnison. Salida, you'll reach 81 degrees. Now enjoy the warmth and that sunshine while we have it. A few clouds later on this afternoon, so just keep that in mind. On Wednesday, temperatures will start to drop just a bit, with highs only reaching the upper 70s. We'll drop even further on Friday, high temperatures only reaching 69 degrees. Now Friday, all the way through the weekend and start of next work week, that's when we're looking at a good amount of moisture to be ushered in across southern Colorado due to the remnants of Tropical Storm Blanca as well as Hurricane Andres. In Pueblo, 90 is today's high temperature, 86 tomorrow. In Pueblo, we're holding off on those rain and stormy chances until Thursday, but then it lingers all the way through Monday. And in Canyon City, it's a similar story as to Pueblo in that some of those showers and storms won't start back up again until Thursday. In the meantime, we're dealing with temperatures in the lower to mid 80s. And then we'll cool things off to the mid-70s by the end of the work week. Finally, in Teller County, 74 today's daytime high, mid-60s Friday, and then some flooding concerns will be elevated Sunday into Monday especially. So stick with us then. Oh yes, and I'll have your day planner coming up next.
All right, thanks Abby.
Yep.
Now we're going to check this morning with Paul Richards at KRDO News Radio.